Oh dear. It feels like it's going to be a long year. I've had the iPhone Air for just over 2 weeks now, which is since the 19th of September when, just like lots of other people, I had to go to an Apple store and pick them up. We don't get sent these phones. These are not review units. These are bought and paid for things for this business. So let me just get that out of the way straight away. I'm taking time with reviews these days because I've asked you and you've told me that you'd much rather I do that. I did put out a first impressions video, that said, of both of these phones, of the iPhone 17 Pro Max and the iPhone Air, which went down very well, to be honest, so thank you for watching them. However, I think there are 3 things that people want to know about the iPhone Air from people who have lived with it beyond getting it out of the box and going, ooh, look at it, it's shiny and thin. That is the battery life, the camera, and the speaker. And in this video, I'm going to tell you about my experiences with all 3, and they are fascinating. I'm not just saying that to keep you watching, but this is one of the most interesting smartphones and definitely the most interesting iPhones I've used for ages. Let's get into it. Let's very quickly talk about the design because it's all about the design, this phone. I know they say it's the future and it's got power of Pro inside because of that A19 Pro chip, but look at it. I would love to know how many people have gone into an Apple store thinking, I'll get the regular iPhone 17. That's the one I want. Oh, look at that. Here's more of my money. I think quite a lot of people are doing that, and it's understandable really, because when you get this thing in your hands, you do get that genuine wow moment, which I've not had from an Apple product for quite some time. They've done a superb job with this. The fact they've gone for the shiny, polished sides versus the matte finish that we get on the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max and the regular iPhone 17 does set it apart from the rest of the range. It has a unique display size which sits between the regular iPhone 17 and the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max, so it's that in-between display size that you don't get anywhere else, and it's incredibly thin. And then you find out that all of the computery stuff is in here. It's mind-blowing. It's such a technical achievement, which I think is why so many people they'll buy this on a whim, and then they'll put a case on it, and it kind of negates a lot of the aesthetic qualities of this phone, which is a bit of an issue, which I'll get to later. But before you part with your money just because you've picked it up and gone, wow, let's cover those 3 massive concerns. Battery life, the big one or the little one, based on the fact that this is a tiny battery in here. It's a regular iPhone battery made as big as it can be in terms of what space is inside this phone, and it's not made from silicon kryptonite. It is regular battery tech, and understandably that is leaving people wondering how bad the battery life is on the iPhone Air. The first weekend I had this, I was really encouraged because on the Saturday I took it off the charger at 8 AM with 100%, and then by 10:30 PM that evening, I got the 20% warning message about the battery. Happy days. Same thing on the Sunday. I left that weekend thinking, what are we worrying about? And then I went traveling. I went to Germany for 2 days, and for both of those days in Germany, by 4 PM, I got that 20% warning message, and it was basically done by about 5 or 6 o'clock that day. Now, my usage is doom scrolling on social media, it's capturing photos and video occasionally, it's communicating with people on WhatsApp and Slack and that sort of stuff, occasionally making telephone calls. It's connected via Bluetooth to headphones, to my car. I occasionally use it for tethering Wi-Fi on my Mac, normal stuff basically, and it doesn't get me through a full day unless I'm on Wi-Fi all the time. And if I think back to that first weekend where it performed very well, I think we left the house twice, which means that most of the time was spent on Wi-Fi at home. If you use Wi-Fi a lot and you don't tend to leave the house very often, it might be fine, but for most people you will need a charger with you all the time. And yes, you could get the very expensive Apple charger, or you could get this from this week's sponsor, which is UGREEN. This is the MagFlow 25-watt MagSafe charger, and it's the first Qi 2 certified 25-watt power bank. So if, like me, you're using the iPhone Air or any iPhone 17 series device, you basically take this, you pop it on the back of your phone, and you get 25-watt charging. So it's a bit like having a wired charging setup without the wires. Although it does have a built-in wire. It has this USB-C cable, which is so useful, firstly for carrying it around like that, but if you want to charge stuff like that, You can. But it's not just about speed, it's about that design. First off, it's sleek, it's ultra portable, and it snaps on with very strong magnets. And that means you can toss it in your bag, forget about it, and your phone stays in place. The magnets are more precisely aligned than ever, meaning less risk of overheating and more reliable charging speeds. Trust me, once you've used the MagFlow, it'll quickly feel like one of those accessories that you cannot travel without. It's perfect for those long days when finding power just isn't possible, or you have the iPhone Air and you're constantly thinking about the battery, which is what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks, which means this has been a godsend. There's also a handy display which shows how much charge is left, and if you don't have the latest iPhone, it doesn't matter. This is backwards compatible with Qi and Qi 2 devices, so you'll still get up to 15 watts. Put it like this, I'm using the iPhone Air for the next 12 months, and I think this will be coming, well, it will be coming with me for the next 12 months. To find out more and get 25% off, just click that link down below. And now let's get onto that second concern. Before this, I had the iPhone 16e. No, really, I had it for 6 months and it just got the job done, but it had a very restrictive camera system. The iPhone Air feels like it has the same camera as the iPhone 16e. Now, whether or not that's technically true, I don't know. Apple's website kind of suggests that they're slightly different, but only via the wording. I mean, someone may have done the proper tests on this, and if that's happened, let me know down below. But they feel identical, and the main reason for that, there's 2 reasons. One is the absence of an ultra wide. You don't get that on this, and you don't get that on the iPhone 16e. And the second one is the fact that you only get 1 and 2 times as the default focal lengths, and it only goes up to 10 times digital zoom, which, like most digital zooms in this day and age, is okay sometimes, but 95% of the time you'll never use it, and if you try and use it, it doesn't look great. So you're kind of stuck with 1 and 2 times, and it's just okay. In fairness, the regular photos that come from that 1 times focal length, the main 48 megapixel camera, are great. It's still an iPhone, so you get iPhone photography, you get all of the settings that you get from the most of the settings that you get from the more expensive Pro and Pro Max and the regular 17, although the regular 17 has an ultra wide, and it just feels so restrictive, and it does feel identical to the iPhone 16e. Even though I knew this didn't have the ultra wide, I was still expecting a slightly better experience than what I'd come from with Apple's base model entry-level phone, and you don't really get it. It's just a camera system that takes nice 1 times photos. You can't, and I just wish it had that ultra wide, but we won't get that ultra wide because it would mean a second lens on the back, which clearly Apple doesn't want to do. If you go for the S25 Edge from Samsung, that does have an ultra wide. It has 2 lenses on the back, so the camera system on the back is limited. However, the one saving grace for this is that front-facing center stage selfie cam. If you weren't aware, we now have a square sensor behind the camera up here, which can take both vertical and horizontal photos without you having to do that. It's game-changing. It's the best thing about this phone, apart from the thinness and the beauty of the design. It's just, why has no one else done this? And it kind of negates some of the issues with this, because as some people have said, if you want to take a wide-angle photo, just do that. Which, yeah, you could. I just wish it had an ultra-wide. Oh, it's annoying. The camera system is limited. Issue number 3 is the speaker. Now, if you weren't aware, this doesn't have stereo speakers, so if you watch a lot of content like that without headphones and you want stereo sound, get the iPhone 17 or the Pro or the Pro Max. This has 1 speaker and it sounds okay. Audio quality wise, Apple is very good at this. They can make very small things sound much bigger than they are. So in terms of the quality, it's absolutely fine. For me though, it's not the lack of a stereo setup on this, because I use headphones 99% of the time. For me, it's the placement of the speaker. So if you weren't aware, the speaker is up here. It's not there. And what I occasionally do when I'm out and about is I have to listen to voice notes. And if I don't have my headphones nearby, I put the phone to my ear like that, keep the volume down so no one else can hear it. I don't deafen myself, and listen to the voice note. And the number of times I've done this with the iPhone Air and gone, cranking up the volume, why can't I hear it? What's going on? And then you think, oh, the speaker's there. And what you've been doing is blaring out your Slack voice note to everyone around you. It's a really weird decision to have it up here. Again, I guess it's because of the thinness and they want to reserve all this space down here for the battery, but that keeps throwing me, which isn't a big deal at all. And like I say, that the stereo thing doesn't bother me whatsoever, but it's definitely worth mentioning. Conclusion time, and this is a tricky one because I am really enjoying my time with the iPhone Air. Despite those problems, it's something which I'm really enjoying using and talking about. However, that is the caveat here. That's why you sometimes have to take what we YouTuber tech people say with a pinch of salt, because I also have the iPhone 17 Pro Max and I'm actively using this, not as my main phone, but it is being used. And also I've always got a secondary Android device that I'm testing. So my enjoyment of this is tempered by the fact that I have backups. So if the battery runs out, it's not the end of the world, although this helps obviously, and I have other phones to lean on in terms of the camera. That's not normal usage. Most people just buy one phone and then keep it for a couple of years, maybe longer. If that's you and you're thinking between this and the regular iPhone, I think it's actually quite a simple choice. If you want the safest choice, the iPhone that will absolutely do the job for you for 2, 3, maybe 4 years, who knows, get the regular iPhone 17. I think that is a superb choice this year. If you want the best of the best without any compromises whatsoever, get the iPhone 17 Pro Max. This is superb. If you're a bit experimental with your tech and you can look past or at least accept those compromises, because the battery is a compromise, the camera system is a compromise, the speaker might be a compromise depending on how you use your phone. If you can accept those compromises, I think you'll be very happy with this because it is fresh, it's new, it's exciting, and this is dangerous, I know, if you don't mind going caseless, you'll get even more from it in terms of the design. There's just something about the iPhone Air, but you have to live with those compromises. And judging by the comments I've received so far about this phone from people who have switched to it, there's definitely a subsection of Apple fans out there for whom this is perfect because they are very, very happy. As always, guys, this is where I turn it over to you. I want to hear from you in the comments. What do you think about the iPhone Air? Have you bought it? Have you returned it? Have you gone for something else? Get involved down there. I'll get involved as well. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you know what to do. I promise I have reviews of the AirPods Pro 3 and the Apple Watch Ultra 3 on the way. I promise they are incoming. I've not forgotten about them. I'm just taking my time with these reviews now. Thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you down below.